Hey, how we doing? Welcome back to the Weekly Wineaux. Sorry for the little late start. Technical difficulties as usual. It's kind of the name of the game here, but it is what it is. Little short one today. I'm going to bounce right into the wines and talk a little bit about what's going on, kind of preview my upcoming trip with some of the folks that won one of the wine trips, and then we'll get out of here. So should be a nice quick one. Yeah, that's it. Housekeeping. Wine Gala is coming up. Make sure you get your tickets. They are starting to roll out. We've got, we're going up to 400 this time because we're at Le Berge and not at Homeless House. So we added a few extra tickets and we are seeing them roll out pretty quickly. Multiple tickets daily going out, and we're only in August, and it's not till November. So do not wait till 2 weeks before the event. There will be none left, guaranteed. So do that. Get your gala tickets. You can get them online at ralphsag.com. Or you can come in when you're in the store shopping. You can see any of those little signs or pick up a flyer when you check out. It has a little QR code. You can just scan that with your camera. It'll take you right to the flyer for the page and how to buy the tickets and all of that stuff. Rob Haslam, what's up? Chad Ashman, look at this. 2 rock stars. Dude, if there were 2 dudes that should be in a room together with me and nobody else should ever be in that same room, it would be Chad Ashman and Rob Haslam. Just letting you know. Because holy moly, that's a little bit of insanity right there. Yeah, love you, brother. So anyway, without further ado, Sunday I am heading to Oregon and Washington. It is going to be an epic trip. I've never done 2 wine regions in one trip, and we thought we had the great opportunity to do it, so here we are. So Sunday we're flying into Portland, and we will get in the rental car, and our first stop is going to be, I can't say it because the people that are going on the trip are watching, and they want them all to be a surprise, but we're stopping at a tasting room in Portland, straight off the plane. No stops anywhere else, just straight to wine. And then we're getting in the car and heading to Dallas, Oregon, which is about an hour outside of Portland. And that's where we're staying at the guest house at Ilahe. I can say that one because that's where we're staying. But we are tasting at Ilahe that evening, and then we'll find some place to do dinner and all that kind of stuff. Then Monday we've got tastings at 11 and 3. Tuesday 11 and 3. Maybe meeting up with my friend Barnaby out there for a beer or a glass of wine or who knows what. Barnaby, you never can tell with this guy. But then we wake up Wednesday morning and drive to Walla Walla, Washington. And in Washington, we'll be set up. We're going to stop actually on the way, about halfway between Portland and Walla Walla. There's a little town called Prosser City, and there's some wineries there. And we've got a good friend named Jeremy Stiles that is a phenomenal wine broker, has some of the best brands around. You're familiar with all of them, Krutz and Magnolia Family and all sorts of amazingly good stuff, Jack's and all that we've done quite a few shows on. But anyway, he's got a couple wineries that we'll stop on the way, and then we'll head into Walla Walla, go to our Airbnb, and then we've got a fun day set up on Thursday at one winery all day. But a lot of fun stuff going on. And then Friday we'll hit a couple more. And Saturday we'll drive back to Portland and fly on out. So it should be fun. And to kind of preview that trip and let you know what's going on with that, we've got a couple of the wineries that we're going to. So I talked about Ilahe. This is Ilahe, which in northeastern Indian means awesome wine. I don't know. I forget what it means. But anyway, Ilahe, great stuff. My friend Brad's a winemaker there, and unfortunately going to be out of town when we're there. But We get to stay at their guest house and do a nice tasting there on Sunday evening, and it should be awesome. So, Elahi Vineyards, just like most places in Oregon, mostly known for their Pinot Noir. They got a little bit cooler climate up there than Napa Valley or Sonoma. Napa Valley is basically a desert. It's crazy how hot it gets there. Sonoma's a touch cooler, and then Oregon's even cooler than that. And then you root over to Walla Walla, and it's back to being a full-blown desert, like 90 during the day and 50 at night. It's pretty crazy, but a beautiful little town. So, yeah, just outside of Portland, if you're looking at a map and you go southwest from Portland, you'll run into towns like Newburgh and McMinnville, then down into Dallas and things like that. That's where most of the really nice wineries are up in Oregon, in the what they call the Willamette Valley, not the Willamette. It's not. There's no I at the end. It's Willamette Valley. So this is the Elahi Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. Just kind of their entry level, and I hate using that word entry level when I'm talking about wine, because entry level just means, hey babe, hey Kelly, how you doing? Entry level has a connotation. When I say it to myself, I'm like, that's entry level. That sounds kind of mediocre, but it's not. I mean, some wineries' entry level wines are award winning, world class wines like this. So this is an Oregon Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. See that beautiful burgundy color? You can see it kind of at the bottom of my glass there as the light shines through it. That's what Pinot Noir should be. What's the rule that we do with Pinot Noir? You grab a white piece of paper, hold the glass at an angle, and if you can read the words on the piece of paper through the wine, chances are it's a Pinot Noir. Try that with other wines that say they're Pinot Noir, but really aren't, like the one that starts with an M and ends with a Aomi. And there ain't no way you're reading words through that thing, because it's not really Pinot Noir. But it's okay, because my number one rule is what? If you drink it and you like it, it's good wine. So there you go. If it's even technically wine, but I don't, whatever. Never mind about that one. But anyway, back to Elahi. Awesome stuff. Great wine. I know it is already. I've tasted this before. I've got a little stack of it downstairs. This is $24.99 here at Ralph's, which is literally an unbelievable price for a wine this good. If you are into Pinot Noir, especially Oregon Pinot Noir, or into Burgundies from France, and not the $4,000 Burgundies and stuff like that, but the regular Burgundies from France, $24.99. This is rocking. This is a great little wine. It's in a stack right in front of the liquor counter down here. So the difference between Oregon Pinot Noirs and maybe those from Russian River Valley and Sonoma, or even Napa or Carneros, or further south into California, is the acidity level and the brightness, and the fruit. The fruit that comes through on the wines are just they hit a bit different because of the heat, because of the soil structure and all of that that's going on down in California. Most of the wines are hitting very dark, deep fruits, your blackberry, your blueberries, your plum, even down into cassis, like a Cabernet sometimes, and some pretty dark brooding flavors and some dark Pinot Noir. You still should be able to see through it and do that little rule, but you're going to get that kind of a style and a little bit higher alcohol and a little bit more fruit forwardness, which is what a lot of people refer to as a sweetness. Which it's not sweet. It's not like Moscato or Riesling or anything like that. It is a fruit-forward sweet that the California Pinots, for the most part, unless you get certain little ones here and there, you'll have a little bit more sweetness on it. This is going to be this is fairly dry. I would almost call it bone dry, but not quite. But yeah, they're just like bright, zingy cherries. So Sean. Bright zingy cherries and red raspberry, a little strawberry cola. One of the things that comes through most often on Oregon Pinot Noirs, I find, is cola, like Coca-Cola. not the sweet part of it, but just it's kind of like that taste in your mouth when you eat one of those root beer or cola flavored bottle cap candies, and you chew on that. You got that chalky cola taste to it. That's what you find a lot in Oregon Pinot Noir. Man, I could drink. What do you mean I could drink that all night? I am going to drink that all night. That's good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, that's Oregon in a nutshell. It's Pinot Noir, Pinot Noir, Pinot Noir, and then a little bit of Pinot Gris and Riesling, and oh my God, the dry Rieslings from Oregon are to die for. I can't wait for a lot of those. At the first winery that we're stopping at, that guy he's like a genius. He learned a lot of his winemaking in Germany, and he is a genius of that Alsatian style Pinot Noir and Riesling. And I can't wait to get down and taste those at his place. So they do make great whites. Reds, if all you drink is Cabernet, never go to Oregon. And that's a shame, but just never go. If all you do is drink Cab, never go to Oregon. If all you do is drink Cab and you're willing to expand and learn, then go to Oregon, go wine tasting, and be blown away and be turned into a Pinophile, they call them. So you're, yeah, that's a weird word, but that's what they call it sometimes. Not to be confused with the other word that's similar. But anyway, there you go, Oregon. So then we, on Wednesday, we get done with Oregon and do all our thing there. And then on Wednesday, we head over to Walla Walla. I keep pointing that way. For you, it's probably that way. I don't know. Whatever you're watching. And one of the wineries that we will be visiting is K Vintners. I've done a show on K Vintners before. I am one of the, I think, top accounts in Louisiana, if not the South, for K Vintners. We do a lot of business with them. The young lady that is kind of their traveling sales rep and ambassador to the brand used to sell wine with me at one of the wine vendors here. She is fantastic. Cheers, Mike Klein. What's up? Got him. Nailed that bug. Oh yeah, those little suckers are tricky. She got this dream job with this winery, and Charles Smith, the owner, and she's killing it and loving it, and she travels the world and pours these wines for people all over the place, and these wines are fantastic. So K Vintners is started by Charles Smith. Charles Smith, I don't know if you saw that show way back when. Charles Smith is the self-proclaimed rock star of the wine world. He looks and acts like Sammy Hagar, but he makes wine instead of music, and he's really, really good at it. He's one of the only multi 100-point winemakers in the United States. One of the others being Bob Egelhoff. And you can get those wines downstairs also. But Charles Smith is awesome. Last time we were there, he wasn't there. Unfortunately, he was hiding out from COVID in Hawaii. But we went and drank wine on his front porch and went and picked fresh apples out of his trees that were by the little creek flowing through his front yard, and got to go in his garage and check out his motorcycles and drank a bunch of his wine. And then a little monsoon came through, which is the weirdest thing ever. But hey, what are you going to do? And it was about 32 degrees or something like that. But there we were, drinking killer wine and eating fresh apples off the tree. And a couple of the guys that went on the trip said best apple they ever had in their life. And it was, they were not lying. So anyway, K Vintners, this is one of our visits. Hopefully, if Tony and Suzanne see this, sorry, I broke the surprise, but Susie's got us set up nice. So I will pour this, and you will notice it is a white wine. This is their Viognier. It's called Art Den Hode. If you can, is that going to show up? Real little words there under that K. There's the big K for K Vintners. Then this other word right here is Viognier. Then Art Den Hode Vineyard. So there's a vineyard called Art Den Hode. And I don't know why, but that's the name of it. So the Viognier comes from there. Viognier is a killer little white wine. If you're not familiar with it, highly suggest you get to it. If you're a fan of Chenin Blanc or Sauvignon Blanc or dry Riesling or Pinot Grigio or any number of Italian white wines or Spanish white wines, and even into unoaked Chardonnays, Viognier is a fantastic wine for you. It's kind of a crowd pleaser. It also very much sometimes can be called a red wine drinker's white wine. It's got body and nose to it, structure to it that will please a red wine drinker's palate, but it still drinks like a white, tastes like a white. So if you do drink a Viognier, you can sometimes see what I'm saying. But it has the structure kind of a red wine, which is why quite often you'll see Viogniers blended into red wines to give it a little more brightness and fruit quality and aromatics and things like that. They do that a lot in southern France, and they do it a lot in Australia. You'll see it blended with Shiraz from Australia quite often, maybe 3% or 5%, or even up to 8 or 9, 10% sometimes. Very fragrant, very floral. Just a yummy, yummy, yummy little wine. This guy makes it fantastic. I have a feeling the Art den Hode vineyard is further north and west of Walla Walla, which is it gets a little bit cooler up there, and Viognier loves a little bit cooler weather to grow in. I'd have to look that up to see if I'm right. Probably dead wrong, like usual, but whatever. Oh yeah. So the notes on the nose, the aromatics of the wine, like I said, very floral and fruit forward, and your typical stone fruits on a white wine like this: peaches, apples, nectarine. I would say maybe some kiwi, and then you get it in your mouth, and it just bursts with flavor, like very, very tropical. Pineapple, papaya, verging maybe into a little mango, but also floral. So you got like a little hibiscus going on there, and maybe a little tiny bit of spice, but a bright spice like cardamom or something like that. Happy times. Happy times. Yeah, that's good stuff. I like. Let's see who else is here. There we go. Good stuff. And then we'll do a little red wine for them, and then we'll wrap it up. So, not doing a 45-minute, hour-long show like usual tonight, and that's quite all right. We'll just get your attention for a little bit, and then I'll take these wines home and have a good time. If you are in Baton Rouge and you got nothing going on tomorrow night, Fête Rouge is happening over at L'Auberge Casino. You can buy tickets. I'm not sure if it's sold out. I'd have to look and find out. I will look before Rob, I just read your comment earlier. So, oops. I will look. I'll pull up the internet and see if never mind. My wife just looked it up. It's sold out. So, Baton Rouge people, if you are going to Fête Rouge tomorrow night, find me walking around the floor, and we'll go drink some wine together. I am a judge for the wines this year for the first time, so I'll be there early, tasting all the wines and judging and getting through all that. But then I'll be in at the event, walking around, and I don't have my own table or anything, so I'm just walking around like a normal guest and tasting wines with everybody. So if you see me, come grab me, and we'll taste some wine together. But anyway, here we go. This is the MCK Syrah. MCK Syrah. So this is the Motor City Kitty, which 100% is just like, what's up, Rich Graham? 100% just like this dude that makes this stuff. The color wine Motor City Kitty. You know, Motor City is kind of the birthplace of rock and roll, one of the birthplaces of rock and roll. So happy times there. And that's him. So the percentage on Syrah on this is 100%. This is also a little bit higher price, $37.99 here at the store. But it drinks like about $120 bottle of wine. This wine has never scored lower than 94 points. Any vintage that's ever been made has never been scored lower than 94 points, which may be the only wine in history to say that. There's probably a couple others, but I don't know about them. But yeah, this is just outstanding, and it'll just get better as it stays open. So Syrah is the biggest, boldest varietal of your everyday wines. There's bigger and bolder, but they're very obscure out there. You don't hardly ever see them. You'd never see them on a grocery store shelf, or typically even on a wine list, unless it's like a 5-star award-winning wine list, like Burns down in Tampa, or a couple of the restaurants in Chicago or New York or LA or something like that. But Syrah typically is going to be bigger, bolder, bigger structure than Cabernet. Doesn't often taste and feel bigger than Cabernet, because some of the cabs that are made nowadays are made so heavy in style that they have that they should have that incredible amount of alcohol, and they make them thicker and a little touch sweeter on purpose to kind of give it that mouthfeel. Camus being like that, just kind of overpowers your mouth. But people love that, and that's good. Syrah is actually again bigger, bolder, more structured wine than Cabernet Sauvignon, and this one in particular, obviously from Washington as well. Notes of just darkness, just awesome dark stewed plums, cassis, maybe a touch of violet in there, just brightening things up a touch, freshening it up. It is very young. This is a 2020. God, I just get lost in this wine. So good. Let's taste her. See how she's doing. That's just a masterpiece of wine. And it's going to get so much better as it ages. If you come to the store and you get a bottle of the MCK Syrah, go home, drink it, enjoy. Great. Have it with lamb and a ribeye and everything fatty and huge that you can possibly find. If you would like to do something really amazing, buy 6 bottles of it, get 10% off, and put 5 of them away. Just forget about them. Just lay them down for 5, 6, 8, 10, 15 years, and holy moly, these things will be amazing. I will probably leave this open until, well, heck, I'm leaving Sunday morning early. So no, I won't. I was going to say I'll leave it open for till next week sometime and try it again, but not going to do that. I will probably leave it open until Saturday, finish it off Saturday, and see how it's done there. But yeah, it's just going to evolve over the next couple of days and just get incredible. But that's about it, man. Cheers to Oregon and Washington. I will not be doing a live show next Thursday night. I don't think. I might do it live from there, depending on the circumstances of where we are and what we've done that day and how much I drank that day. But I may go ahead and do it. Go live from Washington. I will be going live if you see me during the week. I will be going live quite a few times while I'm on the trip. So feel free to bust into that and see what's going on there, because it'll if I'm going live, there's something cool going on. Either amazing sights, scenery, or great wines, great visit, something like that, or just some shenanigans or whatever. So pay attention to that. Show next Thursday, hopefully. If not, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And once again, get your gala tickets. They're selling out quick. And if you're going to Fête Rouge tomorrow, I will see you there. Peace. Weekly Wineaux.